Hey,
Yes.
good morning, everybody. Welcome here on a Sunday morning. Is it still nice blue skies and sunny out there? Please tell me it's raining and thunderstorms because, hey. Okay, my name's Rob, and I'd like to welcome you to my presentation and to the Career Expo. So what I'm talking about today, as you can see, is focusing on having your great career. And the approach I'm going to take today is a storytelling approach. So I'm going to talk to you about Andrew Jones. But just a little secret. Andrew Jones, there's parts of Andrew Jones' story which reflects my story. And there's parts of Andrew Jones that reflects the story of many of my clients. At the end of the presentation, I'll give you a bit more information about who I am and what I do. But for now, it's suffice to say that I'm the founder, dare I say, creative force behind FutureU coaching. Okay, let's get going. Meet Andrew. This is Andrew's family. Andrew obviously is the bearded bloke. The women in the audience can probably relate to Andrew's wife. Mother, finder of all things, messenger taker, businesswoman, and also chef. We also have Andrew's daughter, his little child, Andrew's daughter, and of course, Andrew has a puppy dog. Andrew has an awesome lifestyle. Andrew has a really good job. He's got a fabulous career. He's had a 20-year career. And his career has allowed him to live in a lovely house. It's allowed him to invest in properties. It's allowed him to eat regularly at very good restaurants. His career allows him to travel. And his career also allows him to party and have a good time. I don't think Andrew, if you look at him, is the sort of bloke that will party like these people, but it gives you the picture of his lifestyle. Pretty good lifestyle. Who here would not mind living Andrew's life? I'd love it. It'll be great. Yep. Let's move on. Andrew's career has always been in finance. At the moment, Andrew is a financial analyst. He came to the finance world and to a finance career because when he was 18, he did really, really well at school. He got some really, really good results. So he came home and he said, "Mum, look, Dad, look at these results." And his parents said, "Wow, that's good enough for you to get into a Bachelor of Commerce." And he looked at them and said, a Bachelor of Commerce, interesting. And then he went and spoke with his friends and they all said to him, "Wow, great result. You should get into commerce." And guess what he did? He got into commerce. Because to become a financial analyst, you need a commerce qualification. He never, ever looked in the mirror and asked himself, "Andrew, what do you want to do?" All he did was ask the people around him, "What do you think I should do?" That's a really important question, and we'll come back to that later on. Andrew's really enjoyed his career. I mean, obviously it's given him a great lifestyle, but it's also given him a really, really good pay. It gives him security. He's got a job that is very secure. He's got a job that not only pays well, but has a fantastic superannuation plan. So all's good. He's going to retire rich and wealthy and comfortable and continue to have a great life. Where he works is near home, so he can walk to work, catch trains, very convenient. He's never had to go and leave the country for his job. Very easy. And obviously, working in the banking industry and in finance, he's had many, many career options. We can all see that. We can all understand that. But there's a problem. Anyone here want to have a guess at what Andrew's problem might be? Anybody? Look at him. Great lifestyle, great family, great job, great career. Look at his face. Not happy. He is not a happy person. The question begs why. The title you guys might have seen on the board was about knowing yourself or self-awareness in helping you choose the right career for you. So what was his problem? His biggest problem was he didn't know who he was at 18, and he didn't ask himself, is this the career that I want? Remember, he went to his parents and he went to his friends, and they all said to him, you should. And he answered, okay. Okay. But now he's looking at his strengths, he's looking at his passions, he looks at the stuff he's interested in, and he's saying, it's not finance. I'm just not interested in this job role. I'm just not interested in this career. The key thing he's saying is, I do not fit with this career. Because when we look at ourselves, we get a picture of ourselves and we know where we fit. He is having a career crisis because he has realized he does not fit with his current job. Here are some of the symptoms of his work experience. As you can see from my very brilliant emojis, his job is creating a great deal of frustration for him. Gritted teeth. It's creating sadness. It creates a lot of anger. It's creating despair, and it drives him crazy. His job's driving him crazy. Think about this. Andrew goes to his work 10 hours a day, because we all know that none of us work an 8-hour day. So 10 hours a day, he's at this job, doing this work. He does not fit and he's not happy. Who wants that life? And more importantly, who wants that life for their children? I don't. As a consequence of his unhappiness at work, he has got issues at home, and on the other side of the screen, look at the issues he's having at work. Anyone want to lead that life? You can have all the plane trips in the world. You can have all the restaurants in the world. But if your friends are not talking to you, you're always arguing with your wife, your kids don't like you, your staff don't like you, and you're always grumpy, it's not a good life, guys. Not good at all. And how did he end up like this? He ended up like this because he was not self-aware of what his strengths, his interests, his passions, and his work environment preference were. So now the question is, what did Andrew do? So Andrew went on a journey of self-discovery. Maybe 20 years too late, but he went on one. So he started to talk to friends to get a picture of what they thought his strengths were. He started to reflect about his jobs and which of his jobs in the past have made him very, very happy, and what tasks within those jobs have made him happy. And he started to identify new goals. What really matters to me? So what he did, he started to become aware. The problem is sometimes on this journey you need professional advice. So to his credit, he went and saw a very, very handsome career coach. Does he look familiar? And one of the things a career coach said to him was, go online and do some of the free or paid assessments which help you identify your strengths. So there's free strengths tests you can do online that gives you a really good picture of who you are. They're things like the Gallup strengths, they're things like the VIA strengths test, there's Gallup 2.0, there's a whole bunch of them. As a career coach, I have a preferred test that I like my clients to undertake. And that career test is called the Career Navigation System. But we'll talk a little bit about that a little later. So anyway, so he did all of these things and then went online to do the test. And he did the test that I suggested he do. And what did he discover? The first thing he found out were his greatest strengths. For the first time in his life, and I tell you now, my clients have all said this to me, for the first time in my life, I actually can see what I'm good at. And I can see how I have used those strengths in the past. Except, in the past, they just weren't able to identify why they were good at that. So as you can see here, everything at the top written in the blue highlighted area is his strength. And in this particular test that my clients do, it outlines how it relates to them. So if you want to have a quick look, you can see, look at the bottom there, the top of the bottom box, achieving innovation. This talks about how Andrew likes to be innovative in solving problems. He likes to bring people into helping him solve problems. But he works in an area dominated by compliance. Compliance is the opposite to innovation. So suddenly he can see, I've got this strength that I'm not using. I've got these other strengths that I'm not using in my current job. And this for the first time, he was recognizing this, and this was helping him understand not only what was disappointing him about his career, but he was starting to recognize, if I can find a job that allows me to do those, I'm probably going to be a little bit happier. The next thing he discovered, look at the top right-hand corner. He discovered that his current job is providing him with 20% job enjoyment. Let me put this another way. He works 10 hours a day and he is happy in that job for 2 of those 10 hours. Who wants that life? So now he knows that he's in a job not fit for him, and he's in a job that's not feeding his strengths, and it's not igniting him like when individuals work towards their strengths. So the next obvious question is, what jobs should he do? And if you look at that list, there's a whole range of different jobs. Look at the top job, purchasing specialist. If he did that job, his level of happiness would get to 82%. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I would rather be happy and enjoying myself 82% of the time rather than 20. Yeah? Logical? Makes sense to me. As you can see, with the diagnostic test that he did, he's now got a whole bunch of different jobs he can look at, which he knows are going to make him a better person at home, a better employee, and a happier person. And when you're happy, you've got less stress, less illness, and the great killer, less likely to get heart disease. So think about that. Really, really powerful. Next one. Andrew also found out the type of environments he likes to work in. And he looked at that environments list and he went, hang on a minute, that does not reflect my workplace. He had a look at the tasks he was doing. And he said to himself, hang on a minute, those tasks are not what I'm doing today. I'm actually doing those bottom list tasks that I don't like. So again, becoming self-aware, he's suddenly understanding why I don't like my job. And it's got nothing to do with the job or the people he works with. It has to do that he simply did not fit with that role. All of this was obtained through a very simple 20-minute questionnaire. I think the questionnaire has about 22 questions to it, and it's able to extract all this information for him. So does anyone want to have a guess what Andrew did? Jazz hands. He quit his financial analyst job and went and found himself a purchasing specialist job. Consequently, much happier. What were the outcomes for him? Happy to go to work, less sick leave. He was engaged with the people he worked with. People stopped calling him a grumble bum. People stopped calling him grumpy. When he went home, he was happier. He was chatty. He spoke to his wife. He had some fun with his kids. His friends started to say, "Hey man, you've changed. What's happened?" And his response has been, "I now am in a career that fits who I am." If you don't know your values, if you don't know your strengths, if you don't know and not clear about your interests and the sort of workplace you want to work in, then you will very, very easily turn to your friends and say, "Hey, there's a new job going. Do you think I should go for it?" And find yourself in Andrew's world. Most of my clients are trying to get out of Andrew's world, into old world, and into Andrew's happy world. So, as I promised, I'll tell you a bit about myself. So I had a 25-year university career, worked at a number of universities in many different roles. And in my last 3 roles, I was really, really unhappy because those roles were administrative roles, and at heart, I'm a teacher. So I started to live Andrew's life. I was working in a job I did not fit. So I made a decision. I made a decision to jump. And I made a decision to help people not fall for my trap. I made a decision to help people not become Andrew. So I created a business called FutureU Coaching, which is a career coaching business that focuses entirely on inspiring people to achieve their career goals so they can have a happy work life. And since we spend technically a third, but usually about half of our life at work, it makes sense to be happy there. So I work with professional people looking to accelerate their careers or change their careers. I work with people who are being made redundant. I work with university and TAFE graduates. However, the test that I use, that one that I showed you, is very applicable to them. And indeed, if I was the king of the world, I would say that all students should fill in that questionnaire, because they'll make better decisions for when they go to uni. My point of difference in running my business is that I use the career navigation system. Every one of my clients must complete that questionnaire and we find those results for them. If they don't want to, I don't work with them. But in completing that questionnaire, it gives us the tools and it helps us identify where they need or want to go. And what I do that's different to others is I create an individual one-on-one coaching program so that that person gets my entire attention, and together we craft the career that best fits them. So my approach is structured. It's a structured coaching program specifically for you. I'm very, very proud of the fact that not one of my clients has done the exact same coaching program as another. Because to me, that's contradictory. Because all of us have different issues and different things we want to improve in our career and different changes we want to make. My business is based in the city, and I have consulting rooms in the city, so I'm easy to find and easy to get to. But I also go visit clients and meet halfway, especially for those clients that are a little bit far out. So I'm very flexible in how I deal with my client, because for me, that's my key focus. It's about that client service. So that's my business. It's called FutureU Coaching. This is your opportunity now. If you like, take out your cameras, take a photo of this slide. Up the top, you have my email address. You have my website. And by the way, that website's going to change over the next couple of months, but the address of it won't. You have my LinkedIn, so you can check that everything I've said to you today is true. It's all there on LinkedIn, because if you lie on LinkedIn, you're shot, so don't do it. There's my Facebook page, there's my Instagram, and most importantly and most beneficial for you guys, down the bottom is the link that takes you directly to the blogs that I've written. And I have written about interview skills, how to survive that interview, how to identify your strengths, how to find a career that fits you, and a whole heap of other stuff. I write a blog a week, so there's constantly new information there. So I invite you, I encourage you to have a look at my website. And if you have any issues with your career, feel free to connect with me, email me. That's a great way to start. And one of the things that I do with all of my clients before we do any contracts or anything about working together is we meet face to face to work out whether I'm the right person for you. I'm out to achieve a very, very particular purpose, and that drives everything I do. Does anyone have any questions? Packages are on my website. However, that website was created 2 years ago when I had a different model in my head. The way we create packages now is a conversation. The packages you buy from me is you buy the career navigation system, and then you buy blocks of coaching. And in those blocks of coaching, we then create a program that suits you. Any other questions? Thanks, guys. Appreciate your time. Just for the record, Andrew is a very, very happy person right now. Good on you guys. Have a great weekend, the rest of your weekend. Thank you.